7-Eleven, Shell, Citgo, and all of the family-owned businesses in between, the corner store has been an ever-prevalent symbol of reliability for our country. For me, it was the go-to place my mom took me to get snacks that I treasured before encountering a busy day at school. However, unknown to my childlike innocence, the true nature of these heavenly beacons of $2 hot fry bags and Arizona tea would be revealed once the clock struck around 7 or 8, really, whenever the heat subsided enough for people who'd normally be under bridges to come out like an orphanage of Victorian children when they hear the chime of a dinner bell. And by no means am I trying to put the unfortunate down when they're at their worst. Trust me, I've been there. However, there is a small subset of this population that are simply put, batshit insane. Whether it be from rampant drug use, the strain of not having a roof under their heads for so long, or just them being built like that. These people are known for their erratic, odd, and crazy behavior. They are especially known to amass at the front of the previously mentioned gas station and corner store chains. These people are known as the gas station crackhead. Today, we will be going over the various tiers of the gas station crackhead along with their overall stats, common behaviors, and tips and tricks to avoid being shanked with a broken bottle of Bud Light. These warriors of the rock will be ranked from lowest to highest in terms of unhingedness, and now, without further ado, Tier 1. The most common crackhead. The docile rock slinger can be commonly found in the front of mainstream gas stations. Their behavior remains unremarkable. At most, they'd ask you if you have any spare change as you walk in the store, to which you'd answer, "No, I don't, sorry," as you avoid eye contact with them. But you do. You have $26, 2 5s, 1 10, and 6 1s. All in a wallet that's borderline falling apart and only being held together by a few threads, but you refuse to buy a new one since it's done the job. It's really done the job, despite the threads having the structural integrity of the relationship you have with your parents. You go to the back of the store and you pick up a crisp cold can of your favorite beverage. You take it to the front and sift through your wallet to give the cashier a few of your poorly straightened out $1 bills. With a receipt and penny in hand and a plastic bag poorly concealing the drink in the other, you went out the door. The jingle of the bell placed above was like an alarm sounding for the Tier 1 that was still sitting outside in the heat. The same heat that set in how hot it was from the air-conditioned interior you spent the last moments in. You walked away quickly, hoping to escape the awkwardness and feeling a guilt that pounded against your heart as the piercing stare of the Tier 1 beamed onto the back of your head. Do you feel good about yourself? Are you going to continue your daily life knowing that you lied to someone and need just to save yourself a couple of dollars? That you're probably just going to drop on a mid-tier Fortnite skin? I hope you can sleep at night knowing your gluttony and self-indulgence stop someone from getting moments of release from the living hell that they have to deal with every day. 4 out of 10. Tier 2. Now escalating in the Tower of Crackheads, Tier 2 is a tier that branched from Tier 1, gaining a small amount of confidence to patrol the entire property line of whichever corner store they reside at. They have also gained the ability to verbally communicate sentences outside of asking for a spare dollar, though this advancement in communications isn't really refined.
Go crazy! Go stupid!
In some cases, these sentences are nonsensical and have no clear beginning to end. This can be counteracted by simply walking away like you didn't hear anything. However, there are souls too innocent and friendly, and like a fly to a honey trap, they get caught in these conversations while trying to be polite. Now, items they are known to carry aren't really that special. They are restricted to cheap knives, headbands, buckets, and unlimited empty boxes of Newport cigarettes. Overall rating, 5 out of 10. Tier 3. This is where shit gets abnormal. The very genetic code of a person evolves and morphs into something more powerful than any normal human can achieve. Tier 3s can be found among the more rundown variety of family corner stores that all uses similar namesakes such as Quickie Mart, Happy Store, or Quick Stop. Tier 3s are remarkable for their advanced social nature, often making acquaintanceship with the owners of the business and being familiar among regulars of the corner store area. These beings retain power above the previous tiers, usually being the group leader of a conglomerate of crackheads, also known as gagglers. Their unopposed leadership does not come easy, as they usually have to prove their worth in blood and glory. It is advised from the NCWA, National Crackhead Watch Association, that you maintain a distance of 15 feet at all times, not only to avoid random stick-ups.
Put the money in the bag. Put the money in the bag. Put the money in my ass, nigga!
But also to avoid contamination, since Tier 3s are advantageous for coating themselves in a defensive and sometimes offensive layer of phlegm. If you're caught in a confrontation, the entire experience will be very similar to trying to wrangle a nimble guard gnome covered in Krabby Patty grease. Items they are known to carry are not necessarily impressive, but not as useless as Tier 2. They have proficient crack blades, lighters at no more than 40% capacity, grocery baskets, usually stolen from a Walmart 3 miles away, and an unlimited supply of cardboard and expo markers. Overall rating, 6 out of 10, extremely fun to watch in fights, Crackhead drip is on point. This threshold is where any measures that can be taken to avoid these creatures of nature needs to be taken, or the security and longevity of your life will be jeopardized. A minimum distance of 30 meters is recommended. They are most commonly found in alleyways and the back ends of rough family-owned corner stores. Tier 4s are considerably more quiet compared to the rambunctious Tier 3s. Don't let this fool you. They are explosive in movement, having a 60-yard dash that rivals that of Olympic sprinters. If left alone, they are harmless, docile people, sitting in silence and rarely engaging in any conversation outside of nonsensical conversations with themselves. However, provoked, you may as well count the minutes you have left to live. Their nerves have been numbed by a combination of exposure and hardened skin. They have evolved so far that basic necessities are no longer needed to thrive. There have been few reports of those foolish enough to make the mistake of tooling with a Tier 4 and waking up to see the next day. Those lucky enough to receive mercy made it out horribly disfigured, with their J's either taken or scuffed beyond repair. Their place in a hierarchy remains separate from the main chain, considering they have no interest in anyone outside themselves. They bow to no flag, they abide by no rules, and they seek no retribution. A man without nothing is a man with nothing to fear. Items known to carry, none. Overall rating, 8 out of 10. Only those that have experienced all the hardship and awful aspects of life can be considered Tier 5s. They have endured extensive combat encounters with all tiers, proving their place on the top to rule over them all. However, Tier 5s do not take advantage of this power. They do not have an explosive dash, nor strong charisma. They don't have a friendship with the corner store man. What separates them from the others mentioned previously is their power to overcome their addictions. They don't sling rock, they don't smoke or drink. This only came through the struggle that is quitting these things in order to better their life and escape the power scale pyramid of crackheads. They've gotten in contact with their family, showing how far they've come and hoping for open arms to accept them back into normal life. A life outside of corner store fronts, away from the needles of unknown origins, petty fights over pocket chains, and the constant suffering that is not having a roof over your head. A rehabilitation center down the street opened its doors, ready to take in people to assist them in stabilizing their lives, and the Tier 5 is ready himself to leave behind the baskets full of accumulated belongings and only taking with them the clothes on their back. The Tier 5 signs all the paperwork needed for intake. A chapter of struggles will collide with their sense of normality, but these struggles will result in worthwhile benefits. Benefits that give them more than cheap beers, gas station hot dogs, and bus rides they only get on for AC. This is the start of their second chance. New beginnings, and an escape from hell itself. Thank you for watching. This has been the Crackhead Tier List.